Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm Bob.
This is the Board Game Rundown, and today we're going to do a review of The Great Split.
Yes.
This is an I pick, you choose, I split, you choose.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Hence
yep.
the split.
Nailed it.
And tons of tracks, all kinds of good stuff. But Bob's taught this game a few times now.
Yep.
So I'm going to let him sort of give the rules overview.
Yep. Okay, so like Tim said, this is basically I split, you choose kind of game with tracks. So you're going to be given 5 cards at the start of the game, and that's going to be your hand size. And you're going to be looking at those 5 cards, and you're going to decide, split them into 2 groups using your little split card here, and then you're going to put them into your handy-dandy little folder, and you're going to pass them to the person next to you. That person is then going to choose which of those splits they want, take those cards, and give you those rest of the cards back. Now I'm going to get cards from Tim, and I'll be choosing cards from that and choosing them and adding those together. And then once you get your cards back, you're going to be resolving them. And when you go to resolve them, you're going to be spending those cards to move up the appropriate tracks that are listed on the cards. You'll also be getting these cards with the banners on them, which are going to let you move up your multipliers, which we'll kind of go over in a little bit. And then you can always sell a card if you don't want it for either a gold coin or just a victory, write-out victory point. Now, looking at these tracks, they're all going to score differently. So as you make the turn marker progresses down the board here, you're going to come to these different scoring opportunities. So this first one, they're randomly put out there on the board at the beginning of the game. So this first one here is like an artwork scoring. So the artwork scoring, the way it's going to work is depending on where your cube is located on here, you're going to look to see how many of these were flipped over. And then that'd be a total of 6. So by the time we got there, so this guy is going to slide down to the 6. And I would compare how many I'm at. I'm at 8. You're going to find that at the bottom here, 8. It's going to be worth 13 points. So if you've got more artwork than that, you're going to gain more points. If you haven't collected any artwork, you're going to get maybe 0 points, depending on how little you have. Then this one here would be a blank. Then we're going to continue doing gameplay until we get to the next scoring marker. And then we'll be doing the books. The books are going to score by these little banners at the bottom. So you're going to either score 1, 3, 6, 8, 9, or a maximum of 10 points when it comes to the to that scoring there. I think that's called tome, the tome track. Yep. Then next up is you have the gem track. So there's 2 different gems. There's the emeralds and the topaz. And the way those score a little bit differently, you're going to take the one you have the fewest amount of. So say my emeralds are up here, my topaz is back here. I have the fewest, that's 2. You're going to double that number, which would be 4. You're going to gain that many points. And then there's no points for the coins at that point in time. And you're going to keep going down to the end of the track on the board, and then you're going to do all those scoring again in the same type of a manner. Then you're also going to get to score these end game, I think they're called the advancement tracks. And so, yeah, the instant, yeah. And so you're going to, the way those are going to work is down here, depending on where your silver cubes are at, is you're going to add up how many books you have for the first one. So say I'm up here with 3 books, and I have my cube all the way at the end here with 4 stars. I'll just do that math. 4 times 3, I'm going to gain 12 points. And you're going to repeat that process going down. And so that I artwork, then I would have 2 times the 3, I would get 6. My topaz wouldn't score at all because I never moved that marker. My emerald is at 2, so I only have 1. But yep, that guy only has 1. So he'd only get 2 points for that. And then the coins are going to score the same way. And then once all that is done, you're going to see who has the most points, and that is going to be the winner. And the game rounds are going to change up by you'll be getting more cards throughout the game, and then having to discard down before you make your split, depending on what round you're in. So you start with like 5 cards, goes up to 6 cards for a while, and then the last round there's 7 cards that you're going to be splitting and offering a choice of, and those cards do power up quick. So they go from tier 1s to tier 2s to tier 3s. And that's the basic gist of the game.
That is.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's funny, and just the strength of this game is when you were going through, and you were talking about the artwork here, and then you score based on the number, and then you got to the tomes, and you're like, well, that one's based on the banners that you've passed. And I'm like, well, why is one and one the other? Like, how do you know? If you look on this track, there's no numbers on the tome track, and it's the only one with those scoring banners underneath. And if you look at the artwork track, they have the numbers like the other ones do, and they don't have those little banners with the victory points.
Correct.
I just wanted to point that out as a graphic design thing that I took 30 seconds to think about while you were talking about something else, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. But yeah, that's how this game is played. There is we are using sort of the deluxe edition, if you will. We've got the sleeves, the card sleeves. But I mean, for the most part, and like a promo character.
Yeah, that was
but for the most part, really everything you see is what comes in the game. These amazing dual layer player boards. I mean, the cubes are very straightforward.
Yeah, the cards are still, decent cards, so it's not like you're shuffling them quite frequently, but...
And I enjoy the art style and, the
Art Deco.
aesthetic
I
of
love the style. I love the graphic design.
Of all of that.
Like, they have the outline for the ones that actually give you the tokens.
The items, for the multipliers
So
at
it's
the bottom.
very easy to tell where they're at, right? Because you can see around your cube. So really nice design choices there. I guess let's now go around and just kind of share our overall thoughts. Spencer, we're going to start with you, buddy.
Okay. Yeah, this was really fun. I kind of like the games where you're forced to make a decision, and that decision also affects someone else. And so it's this terrible give and take. Like, I really want these cards, but I've been giving him a lot of emeralds. Do I just keep going for that strategy, or do I make both of us suffer? And which one is better? This is really good at that sort of thing. The way that these ramp up, I really liked how that worked. It was kind of natural. When I'm looking in my cards, it says 2, and the other ones, they'll say 3. And so I actually, at one point, I was looking at my cards and said, I've got 2 of the 3s in here, and 1 3 over here. I'm going to put the 2 on this one. And that was one where you decide, this is a really sucky hand. Yeah, so there's a lot of this game that's really well balanced. I think the only thing that's weird is you're always passing the same person. And I understand, however, that also means I have more control over what that person's getting. So I can be like, hey, I've been giving this person a lot of these topazes. I'm going to keep the topaz. Or I'm going to, if he wants more, I'm going to put everything else on the other side so that he now has to make
it super tempting.
Yeah, make it super tempting. And yeah, I can get it. Yeah, I understand. So I very much enjoyed it.
What do you think, Bob?
I'm a huge fan of the I split you choose, like just in life in general. Like I don't know, you're like dealing with kids. If they want to argue over something, they'll tell you what, you split into 2 piles, but they're going to pick which one, so that way you can't complain about what pile you'll get, right? Because I mean, like that's a great way to work things out, And this being the game plus tracks, I really enjoy doing that, and like. There are different methods that you can do for a strategy. I was playing last night against some friends, and when it came time, he had too many cards in his hand, so he had to discard. He was discarding his good card, so he wouldn't have to pass it to me to choose from, and man, that hurt. It was so stifling. Whereas most of the time I noticed when we were playing, we were keeping the good cards and kind of cycling out
I was getting rid of bad cards all day.
Like, get rid of these tier 1s, tier 2s. Like, no, he was keeping those, and so he was getting good ones passed to him, but then he was like passing me, tier 1s and 2s. I'm like, where's your tier 3 card? He's like, I trashed it. It was too good. I was like, oh, you're kidding me? He never gave me a choice to get it, and but it's a strategy.
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun.
But no, this is super enjoyable. My biggest complaint about it is I think the board is too busy with all the extra artwork. Like, I get it, it's going to match your little design and your thing here, but I feel like you could have done that in a small spot and not done it all the way around the board. Like, it's a lot to look at, and all it is a little bit of flavor. Like, you could have done it in a smaller spot to identify it to your thing without having to be all the way around the board and make it look so busy. It almost can be, I don't know, intimidating maybe, because like, oh my gosh, there's a lot going on there. It's really not. It's really not a lot. It really just boils down to these tracks and moving those cubes up those tracks, and you don't have to pay so much attention to all the design around the border and whatnot. But it's being variable about there's a whole bunch of these tiles, and you put them out randomly, and you don't know how far this guy is going to move up and down before it gets scored. So you're not sure how many of those artworks you're going to need. The fact that these books and whatnot can change and score at different times in different games is nice. This is well done.
Yeah, well, first of all, I mean, I'm just still sitting here marveling at the beauty of this game. I really appreciate that. I love that even though like I did better the last time I played it than I did this time, but I didn't do badly. But I always felt like I was getting a ton of stuff. I feel so busy. Like when I get those cards back, I'm like, wow, I'm moving up these tracks, and it feels really good. I mean, now you might get track and be looking over and somebody else like, oh, wow, they're doing,
that's a good one.
They're doing pretty good. But I mean, also, the information's here on the board, so sometimes you may want to communicate again, hey, just so you know, coming up, these guys are going to score. But like Bob just said, there's a lot of variability, right, with how this is set up and what comes out here. I mean, heck, the cards you get, right, tons of variability. I mean, you just never know. You could literally try to hand somebody like put one
on one side. Like, all right, that's the card I want. So put 4 cards on the other side. So I know he's going to take the 4 cards.
Right.
What do you mean you only took the one? That's the card I wanted. It's like, I figured. That's why I took
but
it. Not like
you
the
get
4 cards.
But you're going to get those 4 cards.
You
It's going
are.
to give you a ton of stuff.
It will.
And again, like this gives you a lot of maneuverability. You know,
you're
you can
not
like
locked into one strategy
yeah,
per se.
you can scoot up a bunch of different tracks. You know, I kept trying to feed Spencer, and he would not buy into like what I was trying
You
to
were
feed
too.
him. And I gave up on that a little too late. Which hindered me a little, but that's fine. Not a flaw of the game, flaw of the player. But yeah, this was really fast. Now we had only taught Spencer, but even teaching Spencer and playing it, I think we played in a half an hour.
Yeah, it was very quick.
And it plays up to 7, which is a weird player count, but it's cool. You accommodate so many.
And we played at a very high player count.
It was 7.
And and it was really good, and it
still
went really
45
fast.
minutes to an hour.
It was still really fast. I think my biggest gripe is you only ever pass one way. I wish there was a spot here where it
pass the
changed
other way.
which way you
Everyone has to
pass.
change seats.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
let's calm down.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with having 7 means I affect him, and I don't affect anyone else. And so
well, you're
I
affecting the other
can't-
person next to you.
Well, yeah, okay, I can affect these 2, but there's
Right.
4 other people there who I have no control over.
Well, no, but it was funny because there was cards that I had passed to you, and it felt like the first couple turns we were I kept getting some of these cards that I was recognizing back. And then towards the end of the game, I'm like, I haven't seen the card in a while. Like, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like, it's living over here now. You know, I'm not
I
getting
mean,
it.
it could potentially make its way back over.
It
here.
could
potentially,
it could.
yeah,
And
yeah.
even more so with, like, higher player counts. You know what I mean? Like, those cards really can end up all over the place. But it would be a little more fun if there was... If you could
Pass left one time or pass right one time.
right.
Yeah.
If there were just like a tick somewhere on the board that said, all right, this time we're going the other way.
Like this one's center around right here. That'd be kind of interesting.
But if that's my worst complaint of this game, we're doing pretty good. But again,
I think they do does it to make it keep it
No,
simplified.
see, there's a great split on which way you pass.
Whoa. Okay. We'll let him have that one. He doesn't get out a lot, so we're gonna let him have that one. But no, you're right. It does keep it simple. And like Bob said, this board looks very busy, but the rules are very straightforward. I mean, literally, it is, well, these are my cards. I am moving up these tracks.
Yep.
There's no other thinking involved.
Right.
The most...
Alternatively, if like say you don't want to move up that track, you could sell it for the victory point or take a coin with it.
And
That's
I had to
your
do
other
that at
choice.
the end because I did max out a
Exactly,
track.
and that's why you can do that.
I maximized the 2, and then I had something with, so I was like, well, get rid of that. And
Well,
then...
yeah. I mean, I maxed out my money, but I didn't have enough money, so I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm just selling this cards.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, we never had to look in the rule book.
No.
Not even once. That just now was the first time I've looked in the rule book.
Yeah, and that's just I could try to get the names right because I call it
Yeah.
by different things as we're playing, just because that's why I recognize it as. But I try to get the terminology.
So I have 2 questions for you, and I think I know the answers, but I'm just going to ask so it's been presented.
Sure.
How was the rule book?
It was fine.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Like I said, it was taught to us once, so I had an idea how to play, and we've played it online. I've played it online quite a bit, but the computer handles a lot of the minutia. So like operating this took me a second, but once you actually read the book, it's fine. It's clear.
And then...
Like, 'cause when you draw your cards, when you're supposed to discard down to your hand
Oh,
size.
right. Yeah.
Yep.
And again, I think I know the answer, but just so we've asked, color issues, anything like that?
These cubes are a little tricky, but once they're in their track, they're in the track.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it doesn't matter what
and
color
even if
it
you
is.
had them switched,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
cares, right?
And those 2 don't look anything alike.
Correct.
Different
It's
shapes.
Obviously, yeah, different shapes. Yep. Yeah, and then like these things being what matches your board, and plus you're always kind of passing it the one way. So.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah, like I said, I had a feeling, but again, the iconography is really strong. You
Yep.
can rely on that and have no issues, as far as I knew.
Yeah.
Right. And then the other thing important is that the tomes and the art are like diamond shaped.
Yep.
With the banners, so you have the banners as reference on the cards, as like the colors are referred to on the cards as well. But you also have the shape. And so then the squares tell you that it's either one of those tracks.
Yep,
And then
and that
there's a
one's either one.
universal.
It was
And there's no
both.
card that has only just moved the blue banner or the green banner.
Correct.
It's always you get to pick.
Choice of this side or that side.
Yeah.
And again, the versatility. Like, that's so much. That's
Well, your
so,
split card can be anyone you want it to be.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
the other thing. Right?
Yeah,
And it's so versatile.
And
I appreciate
being
that.
able to bring up any track by 2 is so useful.
Yeah.
It makes the gold one
It makes
so
it. Oh, I'm gonna
use-
trash that for a
worth
coin.
it.
What doesn't make coins useless? Because once that will move. Oh, I got double movement on a track now.
Yeah, and I can
Yeah.
pop up another track real quick, somewhere where I've been weaker, softer. Maybe I'm not getting those cards back. or maybe I've just been neglecting it, and it's like, oh, I need to move that up. But yeah, lots of options. Feels really good. Feels very versatile. It's not quite an engine builder, but it's like when an engine builder like feels really good because you get to do a lot of stuff. Like this is a game where you feel like you get a lot of good stuff on your turn.
It's not engine building when you're discarding the good cards, other Tim.
Listen, I'm crazy, but I'm not a jerk.
Right, yeah. I'm not going to get rid of that good card. That's
Yeah,
I might come back
seriously.
to it.
I might need that
Yeah,
thing.
it might come back to you. I mean, I wouldn't let it come back to you, but it might come back to it. We never know.
You're going to have to, give me all the other cards back if you want to keep it.
That's
I'm
right.
nothing if not optimistic. This will surely come back to me.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
don't call me Shirley.
Yeah.
But right on. Well, this being a review, we need to give this a score. Mr. Hooper, how do we do that here?
Here at the Board Game Rundown, we were going to rate things on a scale of 1 to 10. We do use 0.5s. We're going to take that score, we're going to average them together, and that'll be the score you see on BGG and other places where we put the Board Game Rundown score.
All right, Spencer.
I kind of want to play this again, and it really didn't take a lot of time. It's all beautiful. Art Deco's great. I'm giving this one an 8.
Yeah, I'm with Spencer. The price point was super nice. I bought it from the publisher themselves. They were running a great sale for, they called it Horrible Fridays or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it was a good
Horrible
deal.
Guild, right?
I know, yeah.
Horrible Guild.
Horrible Guild, yeah. But they call it a horrible sale.
Horrible
but
for
yeah,
them.
but it was, it's an 8 for me. It's
8?
great, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like really torn because it's like, is this an 8.5? Like, because it's so pretty. Probably. I think so. It's an 8.5 for me. I really enjoyed this one. I had liked it the first time we played it. I like it now. I've enjoyed playing it online. So it's
All right. Well, if we take our scores average together, that's an 8.2.
that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm really glad that we got our hands on it. We were shown this game by my sister and brother-in-law a few weeks ago at a small meetup, and then or a big meetup, small convention. But then Bob spotted the sale. We got our hands on a copy like right away, so that then we could do a video. But really good time.
Yeah.
Really appreciate this game quite a bit, and I hope to see more people talking about this game because I hadn't even heard of it until we hit that the little convention. So
Yeah, I mean, this looks great. I can't wait.
awesome. Well, if you found this video useful, please consider liking, subscribing. We have a Patreon. We have a Discord. We do a live stream every Wednesday. We do top 10s, reviews, previews, all that good stuff. If you're looking for paid content, hey, give us a buzz. We do that too. But yeah, no, we appreciate it. And the best way you can support the channel is just by commenting and letting us know. What's your favorite I Split You Choose game?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Let me know more games that have that mechanism in it because I really enjoy that mechanism. I know Charcuterie does.
Charcuterie does, and that's a really good
right.
one.
That's a good one.
I do not like New York Slice, but that has it.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
have to check
yeah.
that out.
Spencer, do you
Yeah.
have something you'd like to share with the class?
If you all like reading, I wrote an urban fantasy book, and it's for sale right now. You can go to spencerhickson.com and get it. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Barnes & Noble. And I'm going to have another Kickstarter come out soon, so check it out.
So whether you're watching this like closer to when it comes out or down the road, if you go to spencerhickson.com,
Yep.
you will find links to those books. And hopefully he's got if you're watching this like 4 years from now, hopefully he's got like
Yeah, quite a
12
few.
more books.
I mean, I even
pressure.
recorded an audiobook. So if you don't want to read, but you like listening to things, I've recorded an audiobook.
There you go.
That's Bob.
What?
You like listening to
I do.
audiobooks.
That's right. Because now I know how to pronounce the names correctly.
Well, that does help.
But what if I pronounce the name incorrectly?
Well, you wrote it, so I don't think you can. I don't think it's by
It's
by
the way you
definition
said it.
impossible. That's
Yeah.
right.
It's your universe there, buddy. That's a you problem. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. For the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim.
I'm Spencer.
Bob.
If you can say the title's only 3 words.